Welcome back, everybody. We're going to continue working on this Ender 5. See what other stuff we can screw up today. It's been about 48 hours. Spent some time just looking at the printer. I highly recommend sometimes you just do that. Take a step back and you just look at it. Sometimes you're analyzing things. Sometimes you're just brainstorming. And then sometimes just don't think and just look at it. And I did run into a little bit of a problem. We'll jump over to the side cameras. You can see what I'm talking about. There we go. All right. So with the case on the back, there is technically enough to get the panel inside here. It is a real pain, though. It is a real pain. And then the big problem is you really can't get the fan in. So scratched my head, scratched my head, scratched my head. Scratched my head and just looked at it for a while, and after about 45 minutes of just looking at stuff, decided I want to do a few things, like how I want to route these cables so they're not just all hanging out. I had an idea, and it actually works out. For one, having these extra high brackets that were originally designed for this to be upside down, I just really don't like having the USB cable on the bottom and the SD card on the bottom. I just see those falling out at some point. But it definitely relies on these. So I've already taken one screw out, but yeah, we have an easy solution. We just have a fold open electronics bay. So then when we need to work on it, we can just take out these two screws, lay it back, pull the panel off, do what we need to do, stick it back on. Whoop, it's the cables in the process, stick it back into place. So I am happy with that. It's a bit of a compromise, but quite honestly, I like it better. It resolves a few things. For one, I don't ever have to turn the printer on its back or upside down to get in the electronics case, which I really don't like, especially with as much up here that's all exposed that you're just asking for problems. And two, it kind of is very close in line with this back motor. So I can just lay this thing straight on the back at times if I need to. Makes it a little easier because before you're having to deal with that. Yeah, so there is our solution. I'm going to go ahead and put this one screw in for now. There we go. That's not going anywhere. Yeah, I am so happy with that. That, I think, is the solution. So we're going to try and get the probe plugged in. It's the last thing that really needs to be done. I have already double-checked the wiring diagram, the pinout for this control board based off the last one this was hooked up to, SKR 1.4 turbo, exactly the same, so we should be okay to go. But then again, I took this probe off because I was having problems, but I've noticed previously the exact same probe that had problems on one board, sticking on another one works fine. So no rhyme or reason. That's what you get for buying the non-official BL Touch. Get what you pay for, and you just gotta deal with it and adapt. So yeah, the first thing is we are not going to rerun all these cables. Fix my screw on the camera. We're not going to run these through this cable. We're just going to zip tie them on here to the others, because I also want to do the clicky mod or one of those mods on here, and that's going to happen pretty soon. So I really don't feel like going through the struggle of having to take the end off of this connector, because it is a 5-pin, snake that down through there and then reconnect it, because that, yeah, you could get this 5-pin JST in there, but it's going to be a pain, and I'm lazy. So that is what it is. It's just going to get zip tied up there once we're sure it works. LED wise, we're not going to get to today, but I have some ideas. I am thinking of right across here on this front crossbar inside the extrusion. Give me a good place to run the cables down, and it will cross light right across the front. I'm also thinking about inside the X extrusion, because there should be enough clearance with the wheels. I just don't have any of that tape at the moment, so that's definitely not happened, but that's probably going to be the plan. I went ahead and printed a brand new cable load protector. Unfortunately, let's spin this guy around. Over here on this side, I already have one for the bottom, but we did not have one for this hole. And I looked around and I looked around and I could not find one. But I found a generic one that was designed for the other hole. Boy, that didn't sound right. Don't get me, YouTube. So I found one for the other side, a little different than the one I'd used. It actually has a cut in it, give you a little, make it easier to pop it in there. And then I had to resize it. Unfortunately, when I opened it up, I just threw it into Tinkercad in a hurry. It was like 200 millimeters by 100 millimeters. It was huge. It was huge. So I took the calipers, measured the inside of this. It's right around 20 by 10. Shrunk it down, paying attention to the inside lip, because that's really what the size was going to matter. That's what those little grids are for in Tinkercad and Fusion 360. So you can just visually look and you're like, hey, that's right at 10. So let's see if it fits. I hope it does. Hey, look at that. Fits perfect. So there we go. Now we have some protection for this 3D touch probe that can go right in there. That's just enough length. I believe I have exactly enough to make this work. Heat bed cables. Not happy with the way they flop around. My first idea was to secure them down here. But yeah, look at that. That's just way too tight. I don't like that. I can feel the strain it's putting on there. And then to get any type of clip of where I wanted it, it would just be in the way. That's also going to make this either kick out this way, probably get cut up in the spool, or in that way, which would be fine. So the compromise is we're just going to have to clip it up here to the back. Not as clean as I would like, but it works. Mainly the goal is to keep this cable from moving around as much. That will give this enough clearance over here on the side. And it also looks like it follows the natural twist of the wires, which is something you always want to try and do, because when you're fighting against the twist, especially if they're stranded wire, you're untwisting the wire inside the cable over time, and that's how your cables end up burning out. See it 110 all the time. So yeah, we're just going to clip it back here on the back. I think that's going to work fine. We are also, just because I'm OCD or anal, I don't like this cable hanging off to the side, so probably first thing we're going to spin this 90 degrees, get this cable around the back so you no chance of breaking this connector off. It takes some real talent. I got talent, so I'm sure I will in the future. I've also got some clips to go under there to hold that motor cable up out of the way. What else? What else did we come to? Let's get the camera back up here. Break it again. Alright, so extruder motor, we've went ahead and ran the cable straight up here, just wrapped it over the top, and it's coming here in the bottom. I might flip that 180 just to make it a little cleaner as well. Probably not right now. I would just like to get as much of that out of the way as possible. Also gives me a better chance of not smacking it loose when I throw the spool on there, because I have done that before in other printers. I don't want to do that this time. I'm gonna jump over here, make sure this is actually working. Yeah, YouTube says we're working, we're live. Is our stream healthy? Yes, we're good. I just don't trust this new computer yet, but it seems to be doing fine. Having problems with my downward looking cam, but we're gonna get new cameras. It is what it is. So yeah, gonna flip that 180. Probably not today, because I really don't want to have to take this whole thing apart, even though it's not too bad. I don't want to take it apart. I would have liked to run the X motor cable slightly different position. I'd much have preferred it to come right up here through the back with the rest of these cables, right through this clip so it's secured and out of the way of everything, but there is just not enough length for this to get to the end. So unfortunately, that is what it is. I even tried coming through here. Still not enough. The only place I have enough slack is right here. Still kind of puts it in the way of the spool. Not really happy about that. So yeah, down the road, this one's going to get extended. Going to come right around the back. Or we're just going to roll with it. And when we convert this down the road to a Mercury 1 and the motors get moved back here, this cable would be perfect. Now that's some advice I can give you when you start modifying printers is don't think, because you will, this is it, this is all I need to do to this printer and I'm going to be happy with it. No, not going to happen. Not going to happen. If you modified it once, you're going to modify it again. You're going to find problems with the things you've done. The only reason I felt so confident to print all these parts off pretty much at once as a batch and just go through this is I have used a bunch of these on other projects, on the other Ender 3s and the Tronxies. Much like these bump stops, this fan shroud, this BL touch mount, these diagonals I've used on another one. So I'm pretty sure I know they're gonna work together. And the results that I've had on the other printers have been an improvement. Has not been, super stellar on some of them. Like, I know this is not a great part cooler, but it does now cool from both sides, and it's good enough for most of what I'm doing. Yeah. Part of the reason I did not go with a whole better design for this is, once again, I know this works. I just want to get it running. Then down the road, I can say, hey, let's go try the Hero, or probably by then we'll be going with direct drive back on the end of this thing. But that I'm saving all of that for when I do convert this for the second time. It's funny how life takes you down these roads. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and move this motor, spin it, see if I can grab the right rig. Yes. I did find a path that's long enough for this display cable. I'm not super happy with it. I do have another shorter one I can extend it with. My plan is literally take a row of these pins, cut them down to the right length, take the pliers, squish them through so they're halfway on each side, stick them right down the end, and then just stick this short one on the end of it. But then this one's a little long. Yeah. So first I want to make sure it works, comes up. I don't want to add any variables. I've already copied most of my Ender 3 Pro configuration over onto this. Started with the Ender 5 example config and then copied what I have done. Config file is segmented all into different sections, being as includes, so I can just comment out a whole section like the ADXL or the probe if it doesn't work, or the display if it doesn't work, and then we can just go one by one. I'm about 90% sure it should work. Yeah. Also on the wiring, right back here where everything comes through, if I can get the camera in there. Once again, I don't trust these cameras either. Right here under this diagonal, where pretty much all the cabling feeds through, there are a few sharp edges. So I think I'm going to, it looks right about 20 millimeters. I'll get the calipers and measure it. I'm just going to make a little piece of extrusion insert that covers all of it, and I'll take this little corner brace off, pop that down in there, stick this guy back on, and then that will protect these cables from ever rubbing. It is going to happen. Just there's two sharp edges right there, and over time, yeah, that's that's going to wake you up when it shorts out. DC really likes to spark, and if you're holding the frame, it ain't going to hurt you, but going to wake you up. So let's get these screws loose. Back in there. It is warm in here today. Whoop, I want our washer. Go. Do like this open bottom. I know I'm going to have to put some kind of paneling on the bottom of it. It's just so much nicer with the electronics on the back. The other thing I realized with using these brackets as hinges is, yeah, that's a lot more convenient. I'd rather just spin the printer around, open that up, than have to reach through here to try and work on stuff. As you see, I'd have to either raise the bed all the way or all the way down. No. Not gonna do that. Take the path of least resistance like electricity. Oh, washer. Lock washers. Everything comes smashing down. Shouldn't. there. Watch out. Alright, that is started. Sit on that. That's a washer. Get all four of these screws in here before I tighten them down so I'm not twisting these. You do have a little bit of play down here. I don't know specifically on this printer if that'll make a difference, but I have had it just enough on some other printers. Alright, gentle pressure, gentle pressure. Touch it gently, gently. Whoop. Don't lose the washer. And yeah, now that connector is completely hidden, did not even look at the original instructions. This printer, if the last owner did that per their instructions, you can see on one way, yeah, hey, it's easy, you can see it. Creality's trying to make this as easy as possible, but it dirties up the look. Alright, get this last one. Always in a star pattern. Go. Yeah, feels good. Like it. All right, yeah, that is much cleaner. So y'all can see. That's so much better. All right, so next thing we're gonna lay it on its back, throw some clips in there. We don't catch on anything. Carriage. Okay, so I have screws in that one corner. It's trying to bend in slightly. It's okay. Boy, that's much nicer. Yeah, I like that. All right. Right up in here. Let's see. We are actually going to go with these little guys. No, we cannot. Those are only for 24. So I'm going to go with the round ones because I have more of those. I need to save some of the flat ones. Right about in there. Oh, that's tight. Right in here. Go. It's much easier. That right in there. That right in there. Pull this slack back a little bit. What I want to do, up to here. Back it up. Fold it over itself. Go. You all see that? Yeah, I have a nice, just little folded loop taking up the slack. That's not perfect. I really need to find something to go on that center insert. I really like that as well and flat as possible. I'm just being OCD. That's why I like these guys. Unfortunately, with these also, you have a limited amount of cables you can put in there, and generally, because they're designed for just the video cable, the display cable, so really not designed for a lot. That's why I compromise with these guys. Haven't used this design before. It seems to be working pretty good. The little trapezoidal pieces are really tight. Really tight. Okay. It's falling down because we're not. Leave that right there. Okay, so that is in place. Well, we got this right here. I'm going to go ahead and secure this heat bed cable. For this one, we are going to use one of these round ones as well. And did that one just break? Feels like it, no? Slip through. There we go. Put that right there. Maybe. Is the problem I had with these is they are very, very tight. wires to spread it open. Oh, that's broken. Okay. Yep. Come on, baby. You can do it. I know you had a lot of drink. Just gotta get you in the car. Okay. There we go. We got this right here. I like that. And the zip tie right at the end, it's holding this sleeving to it, keeps it from pulling up too far. I think I'm gonna throw another zip tie right here on the top. Just hold that in place. Makes there's no strain on these cables. Really like that. So let's grab a zip tie. Don't think there's anything else coming down this direction. Keep wasting zip ties. Should have had a black one, but this will work. Go. There we go. Now that really can't go anywhere. Feel a lot better about that. Don't think we need to secure any more further up. Keeps that completely out of the way. It's clean up easy. Okay, so I think that is, yeah, it for parts that I have laying here. The next step is we're going to turn it on. Actually, first step is we're going to get some coffee. I like my coffee like I like my women. Better. Oh, baby. Oh. Oh. Boy. That's really strong and really old. And I'm going to do my best not to spill it all over my tablet and desk. Alright. So. Alright. Let's get the probe plugged in. This way. Get off the creaky chair. There's that. Just one caveat to that. These little cables I have. Oh, close up of this. It goes right underneath the display cable. The right direction. Okay, it is in. Out the way. Going to put our screw back to hold this in place. Now, moment of truth. We're going to plug it in and see what happens. See if we get some magic smoke. Fortunately, this is plugged into the same circuit as the computer. So, if something goes really bad, it was nice seeing y'all. That screw in there. So I would scream like a little girl when that fella opened. There we go. That works out so well. Okay. Now this is a fresh board. I have not done anything for it. Did my power cable go? It's right here. All the stuff. Do like how that comes straight down. Okay. Moment of truth. Let's see what happens. Pulls back. There's magic smoke. Just magic smoke. Let's go for it. Okay. No magic smoke. Power supply's on. Lights are flashing over there. I don't know if they're supposed to be. And we have Marlin on the screen. Look at that. Let's see what happens. And 3D touch sensor is lit up. So let's do some stuff. Let's go to info screen, see if everything's being read. I see a hot end temperature, 27 degrees. Heat bed at 27 degrees. Let's go to temperature, nozzle. I know we're going to go to clipper, but just want to make sure. plugged everything in right. We don't go 245. Let's just go something 170. All right, heat bed. Take that up to 40 because it is warm in here. Goo all over the screen. All right. They both show their heating. Yeah, y'all aren't going to be able to see that. Close as possible? Nope, y'all aren't going to be able to see that. 85 on the hot end instead of 170 in. 171. Heat bed is already up to 35, 36. Pretty good. No pit tuning. I feel it getting warm. Fan is on. Fans are backwards. So there's our first issue. Of course I did. Should have read your instructions. We need to swap the hot end fans. Let's go over, let's see in option. Do it without homing it. It's moving. It's moving wrong direction, but it moved. Okay. Of course, it probably thinks it's on Ender 3. It says I. Whoop. Yep. Wrong direction. Started. It's also not set up for sensorless homing. That is not why. This is exactly why I moved away from Marlin. Just go 1 millimeter. Yep, these are all inverted. See, he's going, everything's going the wrong way. That's fine. That is fine. It's all gonna change. Alright, hot end got the temp, heat bed got the temp. Let's see, did they have configuration? Controller fan. When that one is, it didn't make any change up there, so that should be the one for the actual board. Marlin 2.0 into 3. Yep, exactly what we expected. Alright. So bed leveling, and manually trigger the probe. Nope, not set up close. Okay. Alright. Good sign. Good sign. Alright, sorry about that. I really expected to have more problems than that. We've got a lot of flashy lights. Get them off. Right, so that was the hot end MOSFET. And that one's heat bed. Now that just leaves one little red light flashing, which I don't know what that means. Okay, let's go ahead and shut her down. Power plug. Open this girl up. Where's baby? You're the one. The only one for me. Ugh. That's not what I wanted to happen. Gosh. We did not secure these yet. That is definitely going to be a problem. Have to pay attention. Too broke to pay attention. So let's go ahead and swap these fans. Back up. Yep. Figured we would have pulled the BL Touch out, or the 3D Touch, but no. Display cable. Screw back in for safety. Go. Live electrical connection in. Try it again. Hope for no magic smoke. All right, it worked. You'd be surprised how many times that actually causes more issues. I wonder if this fan, since I have not run this printer really, man, maybe 10 times, I really don't know if this fan stays on the whole time. I'm gonna have to look into that. I also think I'm gonna zip tie a little sticky onto these guys so to hold these wires in place. I don't like them just flopping around. Really don't like those exposed terminals, but can't do anything about it. All right, so let's try not to break it. See if we can get the fan to work. All right, hot end fan is on. Sure. Fan speed is fan turning. It is not. Let's turn it to 100. And now it's going. So those two were backwards. My bad. That is a success. So I guess at this point, the last thing to test is the MCU fan on the cover. And then we can close that up. Yeah. Let's turn it off again. Cable. So it is going to be a little tricky. Especially if I keep grabbing the wrong Allen wrench. So I need to take some screws. There we go. Just enough. Good to know. Look at that. Perfect. Well, I can't see that. It is sitting absolutely valid. Let's take our panel. Plug that in. And 2. I believe that's the right one. Stays on all the time. I'm fine with that. Very stupid. Just set that right on top. No, we can't do that. Just can't get to the power. Here now we're going to use the screws. That panel up. It's not touching anything live. If it's about to be live. Screw in here so it doesn't fall down. Right, that is secure. That looks good. Caught the soldering iron. No smoke, no smoke, no whammy. All right. Power. I can't see if the fan's running. Can you guys see if the fan's running? Fan is not running. Let's give it a second, see what happens. I do believe that is the right one. Temperature. Fans, that's just main fan. Configuration, controller fan. Get up to 100. And that is going. Okay, so that is the correct fan. One thing I am uncertain about is if those need to be reversed for the hot end fan. For the hot end fan and for the case fan. Because I know on a clipper I like to have this set so it does not kick on until it's actively heating or above like 30 degrees. It's just quieter, saves electricity. But I think we're going to go with that. So let's turn it off. Carefully unplug it. Everything. God, there's no big capacitors in here. He's over there, which we're going to need just a second. This is a little difficult. I think I'm gonna spin this 90 more. Yes, we don't. Oh. Guaranteed I'm gonna smack myself on that as well. Oh. Ah. Yeah. Oh. Go. Use those as our fancy riser. Dead center. That works well. Take a look in, make sure we got nothing crimped or in the way of anything. Doesn't look like cables are going to lay on the fan. Let's drop that down. 1, 2, 3. Of course, this thing was missing a screw when we got it, but they're 3mm. I have a bunch of black ones. We're going to go with those. That's too big. Back to the teeniest of Allen wrenches. Or second teeniest. There we go. Corner is secure. Looking at this, I'm pretty sure at some point in the future, I'm going to also pull this cover off and then just drill 2 holes here and here so I can use the screw holes that are already there for this fan to put a little duct that blows upwards, and same thing here. Probably like that Ender 3 quiet duct, just stick it right on there. I could just tape it, but fall off. Try to avoid VHB on everything as much as possible. There we go. It's 3. The last one, that's usually when things go south. Just when we catch all the cables and rip them apart. Having some thoughts now. It's not as clean. I want to go with this for a little bit, but just doing this right here, this is already a pain. I think I might actually put the cable clips here on this inside. I'm pretty sure once I go to a panel, it's not going to fit on the inside. It is just going to go on top. But that does allow it to cover these corner braces and the gaps that are there. And yeah, that just looks like the easiest, especially if I did something magnetic. But these guys are just in the way. It is nice, they're all right there. So I need to change out a thermistor or hot end. But considering most your heater cartridges and thermistors don't come with these connectors, and I'm definitely not going to buy another connector. Long run, I'll probably put a couple of Wagos right here. I'm a big fan of Wagos, and then I can just plug both those in there, and then when they do burn out on me, that's 2 seconds to replace them. It works great. I highly recommend it, especially if you've got a place to do it right there. And then, hey, they're this color orange, so they'll match. Let's see if I have a couple. Oh yeah. Fortunately, I don't have the right ones in front of me. Be a bunch of these guys. Already several designs out there, so those could actually just fit right in there. And that would work perfect. Actually, I'd probably have to turn them that way to hide the cables. That's still not too bad with popping that down. That's not something that's going to piss me off too bad, unless I rip all the cables out in the process. Maybe move them up here. Boop. I like that as well. That's quick and easy. It's a good compromise, I think. Well, sure would like heat bed down there separate, and then probably hot end up here. That's what we'll do. We'll stick them on each side. So it'd be 2 of these guys. Pretty much about that size, even though that's a 3-way. So one of those up there, hot end, and then one down there. So it'd be more than that because I have to do for hot end and thermistor. Right, get those out of the way. So that looks okay. Let's go ahead and stand this guy back up. Pull these cable up so they don't get caught. Our screws all the way in, even though that just guarantees we're gonna pop it right back open. Wait. Oh, I'll tell you, it definitely changes the shifts the weight to the back. Definitely a little more difficult to pick up. Not impossible, just whoosh. Yeah, with the motor and all the electronics, that's a lot of weight right on the back. Go. Get those just a little tighten. Once I am done with this, I will take a drill, pull one of these out one by one, and just kind of sculpt them out a little so these bolts sit nice and flush. They're not too bad as they are right now, but I like perfection. So, let's turn this around to the front again. Not drop everything on the table. Go. What a pain to get this thing level. Seemed like a good idea at the time. It's close enough. Alright, so from the front, it's definitely cleaned up those wires. Everything right here, I'm mostly happy with. Just gonna let everything hang out right here until I'm 100% sure I'm happy with that. I can put another clip right back here in the back. So that just leaves us over to the 3D touch. Let's pull the carriage this way. Cable up. Camera up. Get that super bright light back there. Zip ties. Grab some coffee. This is probably a mistake. We have not seen it fully function yet, but at this point, our only option is either recompile Marlin, which we're not going to do, or just go ahead and start the clipper. See if we can get it to work. Not the prettiest, but this is temporary. I think. Or after this. Make sure your zip ties all go the same direction, otherwise it will drive you insane. You'll have to go through particular rituals just to make yourself feel better. Alright, it doesn't look like that's going to pull or rub on the pulley there. Please. That is ugly. It's ugly. Oh, cannot wait till we get a CAN bus board. Go. Ugly. It'll work. Ugly. It'll work. Hang it out there. Great. All right. So, cabling wise, it brings us down to the display. We know it works. Man, that is really ugly. Let's see. Shorten this cable, but you know, then I would need it at some point in the future. These things are different. Match. Just makes it easier not to cross pin them. Nope, that's not happening. Yep, this cable is different. Have to go like that. Let's try and do the pins, see what happens. This down so you can see what I'm doing. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 4, 5. There are 8 pins. Count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try it. Fit. Fit. Okay. Our second one. Sure we got 5. Yep, we got 5. Yeah. Let's try and squish these pins a little further in. I'll take some needle nose, catch it on the little plastic piece. There we go. This is not how I'd like to do this, but it's what I have, and I'm not putting any money into this guy. Go. So now they're halfway on each side. Sorry for crooked level. Stick in. That feels like it's touching. Same thing on this one. Oh! Ah, I outwitted myself. So it's being a little harder, but yep, definitely doable. To line these up a little better, I'm just going to push them on the desk. Both sides. All right, so there's our second one. Push that in there. Maybe. Okay, so now we have a set of male pins. Let's line up the reds. I hope this doesn't break stuff. Power back in. Maybe. D to the front, D to the back. There we go. D to the front. Let's keep on, see what happens. Nothing. Let's flip it 180 just to make sure. Nothing. That does not work. I need longer pins. That or the top and bottom. Actually, probably what it is. Oh yeah. pretty sure that's what it is. Yep, top and bottom pins are reversed on one side of the cable. I'm not gonna crack this open, break it. So that was a failure. We tried, we tried, we failed. We're just gonna go back to this guy. It's gonna be ugly for a little while. So just pull it on top. Right now. Oh, don't like it. Couple of these in there, hold it in place, keep it snagged on anything. Really wanted that on the bottom, it's just too tight. Just do this. So let's come back a little. Just enough on that cable. Well, it's what it is. It's temporary. Alright, let's kick her on again, see what happens. And we have a display again. So, that is what it is. Alright. So let's go on to our next step. Let's plug in our USB cable. Let's see if we can get this detected and clipper on there. Right. USB cable is plugged in the back. Back here. I am not sure if this one has data. I believe it does, though. Get this out. All right. Let us go over. See if it's gonna come up. There we go. Do I have a microphone? Yeah, I got a microphone. All right. So we are over in SSH on my little quad core clipper server. And unfortunately,
awesome!
You're gonna hear that every time I hit enter. I temporarily disable this. Oh, I'll just bring the volume down. There we go. Now you're not gonna have to hear that. So first, we want to do an ls USB /dev by ID. I can never remember. Actually, let's do this. Let's go over into dev. It's dev USB, is it not? Somebody tell me. Or I could just Google it like a sane person. Serial, of course. Let's go to serial list. There we go. By ID. Let's see what we got. All right. That shows Marlin. So I don't have anything on. Let me confirm. Yes, sir. That is the only one. And that is showing up. That's a good sign. I'm using this janky Cat 5 to USB extender, which does work. It gives you USB 1.0 speeds, but does not give you the USB 2.0 speeds, even with a 5-foot Cat 5 cable on there. But it seems to be good enough for the USB serial that we use on these guys. So if you do need to put a printer across the room, that is an option. And you don't have Wi-Fi on it or a network connection or something. One of those cheap, I believe it was like $5 for the pair of USB A, obviously USB A, on one side, and then jack on the other. Yeah, actually I believe it's USB A on both sides. You can plug whatever cable you want into it. Other end's going into a USB hub, which is plugged into the quad-core clipper server. All right, so this is most likely going to change once we flash this guy. So let's come over to our browser. It says browser, but it's not showing the browser. Ah, I know what's going on. Window capture 2. Is it gonna find anything? Give me 1 second. Trying to capture a window. No, capture 2. Oh. Ah, there it is. And it does not see anything. Or does it want to work? Okay. Or cancel. Let's see if we can do this manually. No. Do I have to have the window open? It's in Chrome. Okay, it is in Chrome. It does not show it's captured. That is kind of strange. There we go. Wow, that was a lot of work. I'm not sure what's going on there. Let's check this other capture. Other capture does not see the terminal, so we might have just lost the terminal. Grr. Okay, we'll just go with this for now. Get it so I can see it. We're going into example configs. We're looking for Big Tree Tech E3 Mini version 3 right there. What does it say? For STM32G0B1 with an 8 kilobit bootloader and USB communication. So I am gonna do that. CD into my home directory. Into Clipper. Go and make menu config. Oh, nope. Menu config. What? It's been a while since I've done this. Ah, it was make menu config with a space. I just cannot type. Hey, there we go. Let's try this. Yay, now we can see both. It's going to be a little difficult. I'll kick back over. All right. Did not say anything about extra low level. So let's go into processor. STM32. We wanted the G0B1, I believe. Double check. STM32 G0B1 with 8 kilobit and USB. Right. 8 kilobit. That's what we want. With USB on PA1112, I believe that is correct. Well, that's a new option. Did not see USB to CAN bus bridge previously. That must be a Clipper update. Good to know. Watch a CAN bus. Very good. Very good. Yeah. Okay. So let's quit. Save. Yes. We're going to do a make. It's compiling it. Hopefully this works.
Almost there. Looks like we made it. All right.
Go into the Alt directory. See what we have. Is our clipper.bin. We're gonna come in here. Clipper. Out. This right here is why I like MOBA Xterm instead of using other SSH clients, because I've got my SEP and all that, and SFAP are all right in here. There's Clipper bin. Let's copy it to the desktop. We got it. That. Make sure that browser is still working. Come back over here. All right. And the top-down camera died again. I'm gonna have to swap that guy out. All right, firmware is on the desktop. I am going to copy it to the desktop, or copy it off the desktop onto an SD card. I already have a drive sitting on here. Yes, delete the firmware that's there. And of course, I believe we need to put a number on the end, so it's going to be Clipper, some random numbers. But I didn't put too many. Let's eject. That's a good sign. Didn't have to format this drive, because I believe this is the one that came out of the controller. All right, pulling out the SD card. Did not kill it. Let's turn the power off. Alright, it's down. Insert our SD card the right way. Finish backwards. Go. It's in. Especially with these ones that don't like click in. Click, 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 click. I really did not feel comfortable with that on the bottom. So we're gonna kick it on, see what happens. Back OBS so I make sure it's working. Yeah, it works. Did not flash. Okay, still says Marlin. Do this again. No, doesn't like that firmware file. Let's stick this back in the drive. And we will rename it just back to regular firmware. I mean, that is the solution. I do not remember which printer it was that I had to deal with that. Okay, USB drive is there. Oh, I know what the problem is. It says Clipper instead of firmware. There are some numbers. So we now have renamed it to firmware. Some random numbers. .bin. I'm going to eject it. It scares me so much. Stick it back in. Let's get the power on. See what happens. And it still says Marlin. Not act like it wanted to read it. What are we doing wrong? Get some nicotine to help think about it. Nope. All right. Come on, go down. There we go. I'm gonna name it right back to just firmware. Go. Sorry, y'all can't see this. Firmware.bin. Eject. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. Having to call it firmware with the number was on the original Creality boards. Duh. That is exactly what that was. Ooh, got a stunter. And okay. Screen lights up, solid blue. It's usually a good sign. It's reading the SD card. And it's still blue. It's still blue, electric blue. Yeah. Get the keyboard out of the way. Breaking stuff. Okay, it's still not doing anything. Turn it off. Kick it back on. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, I'm an idiot. Okay, so we have a blue screen. It's lit up, and I need the keyboard again. What a noob. Yeah, of course, the screen isn't going to show up until Clipper is connected and active. So let me grab my keyboard again. Go over into SSH. Now that is the first step. All this filament goop out of the way. Come back over here. Oh, the screen's all messed up. Oh, okay, there we go. All right. Let's go back over to dev, just serial, by ID, do an ls, and there it is. It flashed Clipper. I'm going to copy this. Control C. I should be able to exit. Hopefully we don't have to go back. That. We'll go straight back over to the browser. Bring it up for me. Okay. Get out of the example config. Go back over to our config. And as you see, there's my printer config, my Moonraker, my mainsail. I really haven't done anything to those except the standard for setting up Clipper and Moonraker and mainsail. Here I have created a folder. I don't know if y'all can see my mouse. Yeah, you can. Awesome. I do this on all my printers. So if we go into printer config, as you can see, all of these are my subsections. I keep mainsail in a config, and then I break everything down. ADXL, which is commented out for when we do the resonance tuning, heater bed, display, extruder, fans, LEDs, even though there's nothing in there yet, the motors, any options this board has, the bed leveling probe, the screws for manually tramming the bed, which I haven't fine-tuned for this one, the regular sensors that just give you the temperatures, the MCU, if you're on a Raspberry Pi and stuff like that. I'm probably going to kick an error up on that one, have to comment it out. The shaper settings, once you have tuned it, sounds, which really is just for the buzzer. Steppers I like to keep separate, especially when I go in there for fine-tuning. The threshold for the sensorless homing, it just makes it easier to have everything separate. And then of course mainsail at the end. And then down here you will see I just have literally the MCU, the printer basics, and the extra board pins. And then everything, oh, I need to take this out. Here's where I copy and pasted it in here. What I did is just copy the default example, pasted it down here. So I had it in front of me, and then just copy and pasted the sections over to each one of those. So I believe, so we can delete all of that. Save and close it. But I believe options has the board pins. Nope, it just has SD card, exclude arcs. Confirm. Steppers look good so far. No, I'm gonna probably have to change something for the probe. Although I have almost the exact same setup on the Ender 3 Pro, and I just copy and pasted this. Bed mesh, probe count 4x4. should be the correct pins. It's pretty close on the offset since that's almost the exact same odd end carriage. Z offset will probably change. Two samples, yeah, it's everything I had before. That Z home looks fine. Z safe home. All right, sensors, we got nothing in there. Do believe there was supposed to be something in there. I'll have to confirm that later, but that is not mission critical. New bed looks fine. There's where I commented out the previous default. Alright. We may have to change that thermistor setting. Extruder. Rotation distance, that's definitely going to change. Diameter nozzle, correct. Do want to go slightly higher on this temp. So we have to do some tuning. All right, so let's go back over to printer config. Yep, board pins are going to live here under this serial. Let's go ahead, paste it in here. Boop, 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 boop. All right, that looks correct. Let's save and close. And let's try a firmware restart. Little concerned if the screen's going to work. Oh, sounds. Does not exist. Okay. Yep, I sure did not. So let's create that real quick. We can leave it blank. And that actually should be sound. Big. Name already. Ah, there's what's going on. Name already exists. Screws. Yeah. Sound, nothing in there. Let's go back over here. Correct this. It's not like this is a Counter-Strike config. Save and close. Firmware restart, see what happens. And we get an error. Of course we do. PB15 used multiple times. Where is it used multiple times? Nope, even though I knew it wouldn't be in there. Let's double check extruder. PB3, PB4. Fans, PC7, PB15. Heater fan. All right, where else is this listed? This is giving us a problem. Go ahead and delete this guy up here because that's for an Ender 3. PP13, 10, 0. It's under extruder. No. Under extruder. Options, not in there. Steppers. All we have is a UART pin, PC10, PC10, PC10. Shaper has nothing, not enabled. Sensors has nothing. Screws should not affect it. Probe, let's see. Bed mesh. PC14. It's not in there. So where are we using it twice? Let's go up one. Printer config. Is PB15 in here? PA15. Oh, PB15. Definitely not going to be in there, but I just feel like clicking on everything. This virtual SD card, that is actually referenced twice. I probably need to fix that. See if it kicks an error. Definitely know when we try to upload G code. So not in any of those. Nope. Pin PB15 used multiple times. Well, where? It's gotta be fan. So it is under heater fan, controller fan. Where else is it referenced? PB15. Not under the extruder. It's not under the motors. 12, 14, 11, PC2, PC1, PC0. Do not see it. Clear these guys out. Options, new. Now we're just going around in circles. Let's try again, see what happens. This is very confusing. Yeah, display, I did not check there. Ah. And that is what I thought. So use down here. Click pin. No. Okay. Let's try this, see what happens. I believe this is going to air out as well. Really warm in here. Click pin PA15. It's PA15, so is that one PB15? Yes, that was. All right, let's try this. Save and restart. It's attempting to connect. Hey, there we go. Okay, that is not correct. Definitely have the wrong display. Actually using the emulated, which I think is wrong. Let's go over here. And I just broke that off. Second. Oh, this is difficult. I'm going to hit the power button. Okay. Desktop mount just popped right off. Let's see if I can get this down enough. Now I'm all scared of breaking it again. Vape out of the way. Headphones can just stay on the floor. So as we have a display, it is just completely broken, just Chinese. It's wrapping around. Let's see, do some Google real quick. Free screen, Big Tree Tech Mini V3 3.0. One second, I'm cheating, reading somebody else's information. Of course, this one's talking about TFT. We don't have the TFT. Tommy hungry. Okay, Z probes, Z stops, TFT. fan is PC6. Cooling part fan, extruder fan is 7. PB15 is the enclosure fan. Okay, that explains that. So which is the correct screen? E3 Mini with original. Let's see what Reddit will tell us. Sorry, Reddit. No information. Oh, y'all can kind of see me surfing around. Oh, I believe this is the one I'm looking for. Where is this? Make and Print. Make and Print UK. Yes, I've used their guides a couple of times. LCD installation. What does it say? Expansion 3. Not doing a version 2. Not doing the TFT. Doing the TFT 3.5. Oh, now we're on the fans. Okay. Do you have a clipper config in the bottom? Firmware installation. Firmware installation. That is just for Marlin. Okay. Add clipper into my search. Newegg is not going to help me. Let's see what this one says. This is somebody's GitHub. Tiny Fluffs. Clipper Ender 5 Plus. This is not a plus, but that is only for touchscreen. This is just an ad. SKR Mini E3 version 3, correct pins for the LCD screen and BL Touch. Victory Tech has an example. There we go. Let's check their example. That is confirmed as the Mini E3 version 3 clipper. Okay. Back over to the browser. See what I'm looking at. Two MCU printer board fans. Did I display? I believe that's what I got. Copy this back into here. Once again, this is why I like this broken down. He said in there. Is that the exact same thing? Exact same thing. Very strange. Of course, it's been a while. Let's try. It's been a while since I had the original screen running on the Ender 3. Actually, that's what we're going to look at. Let's save this. That should be fine. Let's go back into examples. Config. Let's go to Crealities. 4.2 port 10. See what it says for display. Boy, they have a lot. ST7920. I think that's what's going on. Let's close this. Back to our config. There. Display. All right, copy this line. Duplicate it. Get the L that we missed. Take off this emulated. Comment this one out. Save and restart. See what happens. CS pin in section display must be specified. Huh. Okay. This is going to take some research. I really don't care that much. I know that's bad. I just don't feel like wasting time for the screen, which I'm pretty much never going to use. I will get it working, but comment out display. All right, displays out. Save and restart. See what happens. Still not connect. Okay. Okay. So we are connected. Not really using any CPU or RAM. Let's go over to the dashboard. We need to configure this because it does not look good. Control. Take that across. Is that out? Okay. So I'm going to try and home X. Let's see what happens. And okay. Nope. All right. Also home the wrong direction. Won't connect yet. Let's go over here to our config. Sensors, not the sensors. It's going to be under steppers. Where, oh where? Go over to my other printer. Go into steppers. Current strength, that is what we are missing as well. X and Y. Don't believe we had run current or driver strength. Copy all that. Click on the motors. We do not have that in there. Okay, so virtual end stops. We're gonna need to add virtual end stop. Actually, let's do that first. Get this end stop pin. So out of this, go back over to the correct printer. X. That's going to be a virtual. Y. Z. That one is different. Save that. We also need to comment out these real pins before it, since we're using sensorless homing. Later on, we can pull those out. Although it's good to leave them in there so you don't have to reference back to the pinout diagram. Okay, let's save that. Come back over to 3. It's handy that we can pull most of this off the other one. Ah, yeah, that one is probe. Looks like we also need to comment out the end stop position. Okay. I need to... There you go. Range them by name. That's the whole point. There we go. That should give us end stops. The one thing I'm not seeing, I think that's going to be the threshold over in steppers. Yeah, so let's go back over, copy those thresholds over. Boop. All right, enter 3. Steppers, driver strength threshold. There we go. So we do not need that for the extruder or for the Z. The thing we need it for is for X and Y. Okay, close out that. Go back over to 5. Steppers. Should be able to just paste that right under. Let's try this. Save and restart. Screen has gone away. I guess that's a plus. Firmware restart is not working. Let's do a full restart. That'd be strange. But power cycle the printer, see what happens. Bring it back. This is the one downside to running a Clipper server. If you do need to... Oh, alright, it's back up. Let's see, it's firmware connect. If you do need to do some a complete reboot, unlike having a Raspberry Pi directly on the printer, now since I have 4 printers running off of it, that is going to cause an issue. Lost communication with MCU. Firmware restart. Try another restart. See what happens. It was working. People get wiggle loose? No. Interesting. Okay. Do a full Clipper restart, see what happens. I'm sorry, I'm not clicking on the screen. I'm actually double checking YouTube. Going a little over an hour. This is so strange. I want to restart again. Might. Let's go ahead and shut it down. Plug it back in. Refresh the browser just to try. Okay. Want to restart? Does not like that. And no errors. That looks correct. All that looks correct. What could we have done? What could we have done? Well, restab the USB on the other side. Right, I am back. I plugged it in directly out, took it out of the hub and plugged it directly into the mini PC. This is so bizarre. Recycle. Maybe my browser is just freaking out. Okay, let's go into the config. Display. We're gonna go back. This one, emulated. Out the other one. Close. Restart, see if this does anything. Okay, we're gonna reboot the whole server. Alright, let's see what happens. We'll give this a second, see if we can reconnect. Give it a second to reboot. Unfortunately, I don't have a screen on that mini server. It's running headless, so I really can't give you any clue of what's happening on it. I'm trying to. I have lost myself. There we go. That's not the one we want. That one? There we go. It's a little less boring. Although it looks like it quit working. There we go. Okay. Let's go back to the browser, try again. Okay. At least we get an error. TMC virtual instops requires diag pin. Closer. Not sure what caused that, but at least we're back to some communication. TMZ virtual install requires diag pin config. So let's go over. It's not seeing any of my other printers. Is seeing the one I need though. Okay. Diag pin. No. That was for the virtual diag pin PC0, PC1. So PC0, PC1. Go, they're all showing back up. Yes, not there. Okay. So tedious. I thought I had actually copied these directly out of here. PC0, PC1. That, PC0, PC1, help me remember. Extruder, what it is. No, not extruder, Z. Okay, don't see anything. Let's go back to the 5. PC1, go. Save and restart, see what happens. Position in stop is not valid in section stepper Z. Okay. Closer. In stop position. I believe we commented that out over here. There's no in stop position and stop steppers. Let's go to motors. Yep, commented out. Let's go comment that out. Boom. 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 All right, save and restart. I'm getting so hungry. Hey! Okay. So we are connected. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Let's try and home RX. Going the wrong direction, but let's see if it... Hey, okay, so we have the strength correct. Let's do the Y. Okay, backs off. They are inverted, but that's good. That means Z is going to be off as well, so we can't do anything about that. So let's come back over here. I can't see anything. I have cameras right in front of my face, and I can hear myself out of my headphones on the floor. What was the option for invert motors? It was a caret, I believe. Oh no, exclamation point to the Dyer pin. To the Dyer pin. So X is backwards. They'd already inverted it. Y is backwards because they already inverted it. Z is inverted. Right? Save and restart. And it doesn't connect. All right, we're connected. Okay. Let's try and home X again. That is now the correct direction. That's what we want. Perfect. It's home Y. Okay, we're gonna home Z, see what happens. I'm gonna keep my finger on the power. And that did not seem to do anything. End stops X still triggered after retract. Okay, let's just do an all. See what happens. End stop X still triggered after retract. Just home X, G28X. That worked. Y is good. Z is not working. Okay, I believe let's go over here to X. Driver strength. Apparently X is too sensitive. Let's take this down a little. Go down to 80. Restart clipper. Pick up our headphones. Desk. All right. We're connected. We're looking better. When in doubt, turn it off, turn it back on. We're reading temperatures, extruder, and the heat bed. That's good. Let's go ahead and take the extruder to 100. Fan kicked on. That's what we're looking for. Heat bed to 40. I didn't even notice the extruder fan was not on. Okay, extruder is heating up. Heat bed's heating up. Make sure we can turn on the fan. Yep, part cooling fan kicked on. Let's turn it off. Shows controller fan at 100, heat break cooling fan at 100. Definitely overshot a bit. We're gonna have to tune that. Let's kick it back down to 0. Heat bed is there. Let's go ahead and cut it back down to 0. Let controller fan go for a while, see what happens. Let's trigger the X home. So, not sensitive enough. We thought it was too sensitive, now it's not sensitive enough. Let's go to 90. Yeah. Better be ready. Okay. Controller fan kick back on. Still cooling things off at 100. MCU fan. Yep. Blowing at 100. It's home X. Okay. At home. It is a little hard. It's not saying still triggered. Let's try Y. Okay. Excuse me. And we failed to deploy. Probe is raised, retrying. I think we're going to have to tune some options on that. Can we move Z at all? Cannot. Let's try to home X again. Okay, that's acceptable. Let's try Y again. Okay, that's acceptable. So now we are just down to the probe not deploying, which... Let's try this again. Failing to deploy. Air it out. Let's go back over here into our probe. Alright, controller fan shuts down when it gets under temp. Let's well, can't see. Z safe speed, hop, that's fine. Treasure, fine. I'll comment out some of these real quick. Make sure I don't forget which ones I did. I'm just going to space it out for now. Right, save and restart. We might have to swap this probe. Waiting on that. Oh, on the wrong computer. What is going on? There we go. Okay, touch and control, Z home, initial tests. Okay, let's go to our dashboard, to our console. See if we can manually deploy the pin. Huh. Did not do anything. Okay. I've manually pulled it down. I'm going to try and pin up. And up. Working. Huh. Try down again. No, fails out. Lordy. Yes, sir. I think we're gonna have to swap this with the other BL Touch. Definitely open the control box again. All right. This out of the way real quick. All right, we're gonna call it there. I'm getting hungry. Hoping to make a whole 2 hours, but we got Clipper installed. We have it about 90% of the way there. I'm going to do some more research off stream, confirm what we need to get the screen up. I guess I'll open the electronics box and hook up this other 3D Touch that I got. We'll see if it's any better. I knew one of them was completely bad. I was hoping it was the other one. and we'll see if that makes a difference. If not, I think the 2 pins are configured backwards. I just don't want to waste any more time, make this stream any longer, just looking through 100 lines of different configs to find the right one. But progress. It is definitely cleaner. Yeah, definitely cleaner looking. Let's go back over to the side camera one last time. There we go. Some more motorcycles running by. Alright, you can see the 3D Touch arrowing out. So far, we've got the right directions. Homing is going great, so as soon as we can figure out this probe, that should get us our Z homed, and then we can try an initial print. So yeah, 2 minor things, and then it will be into some tuning. So that means next stream, confirm that's working, confirm the display's working, and we'll do a test print, and yeah. So I will see you guys again. I'm probably going to take a couple days to research this, but we just endlessly bang our head against it. And yeah, so I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a good one.